it takes a lot to, put yourself out there. And I think showing your face here in this setting after it's been a little while might be the best way to, jumpstart. And this is your team and we love you and we support you. So thank you for saying yes. I appreciate you. And, Giselle's one of our leaders. She's one of my leaders, my qualifiers. And we've been building this business for a while together. And she has such a strong business. She reached silver and it took a little while to solidify it, but she is a solid silver. When she reached gold, it took a little while to solidify, but she is a solid gold with power of 3, 250. And that is huge and something to celebrate. And even more so, I really wanted her to share with you guys a little bit of that. And yeah, so we're happy to have you. We are going to do question and answer style for Gizelle. And Gizelle, do you want to say hi to everybody and kind of maybe just give an update on how you are, how it is in San Francisco?
Okay. Hi guys. I know it's like super early in Hawaii and it's like 12 o'clock here in San Francisco. So it's kind of like, a weird time spot. So I really appreciate everyone who's curious to jump on and just kind of listen to my story. I really appreciate that. It's actually raining right now. It hasn't rained in a while in San Francisco. So I'm like, oh, it's going to be gloomy today too. But I think I struggled hopping on today, and I'm just gonna be super transparent. I feel like that's how people kind of relate a little bit, and I've been going back and forth about this interview because I feel like I don't know, I haven't connected. Like I said, I haven't really shown my face. I've been still working on my business, but it's just hard to show my face where someone can kind of engage with me. It's really scary. If you follow my Instagram, I'm posting stuff, but it's very one-sided, right? So nobody could really talk to you, ask how you're doing. But I've been struggling a lot. I think COVID's probably I'm one of the few that maybe everybody gets affected by COVID, right? So I think I've been struggling ups and downs, more so the last 2 months, where I feel like that's why I kind of distance myself in showing my face, talking to people. But I struggled keeping this call because I don't know. I just like, well, I'm not really like super, I'm inspired because I'm still in my business, but I'm not at the top where like, I'm going to kill it. Okay, I'm going to inspire the whole team. I'm not there right now. Whereas if you asked me where I hit gold, when I'm hitting gold or silver, I'm up there and I want to inspire. I want people to feel motivated to continue with their business. And I think I'm where I am at. And I just wanted to share that we're not always going to be at the top. We're not always going to feel great about our business. And that this business, I'm not where I am because I did it by myself. I am exactly where I am because of everybody that helped me get there. And I always show up for other people. And I know I'm still working on showing up for myself, but I show up for other people. And although I haven't really done team calls, I have a hard time facing people. I always check in with my builders in the middle of the month, the beginning of the month, at the end of the month. I might not do a face-to-face Zoom call with them because I get scared, but I always look after my team. And so, and I guess why I wanted to jump on this call is how blessed I feel to have this business. How blessed I am to be where I am today with the feeling of really experiencing residual income, even in my lows. Like Ashley was saying, I hit mostly gold. This whole year has been so crazy for me. I would say I was solid silver last year, and I hit gold 2 years ago. And I've always been silver premier. And the story is about silver because most of the time last year and since like 2 years ago, I've probably hit premier and silver, and hitting silver rank is huge. A backstory, when I got into the business, it was I said I wanted to do this business. I just gave birth to my daughter and I wasn't working. Oh, I was in maternity leave. And I don't know if you guys experience this when you had your baby, if you have kids, but you're just like, I want to bond. I want to continue to bond with my daughter. And I couldn't see myself yet going back to work with everything I was struggling with postpartum and everything. And I felt like when I saw Ashley, I didn't know Ashley at all. Actually, I saw her on Instagram, very similar to Aiko, where we're like, she's so cute. Like she does oils and there was just something about her, or she just kept popping up on my Instagram. It was just so weird. And I felt like that was a sign to like, I'm struggling with postpartum and they're giving me all these medications for me to take this and that. I'm just going to reach out and try natural solutions. And the connection I had with Ashley the first time I met her was well, I felt kind of safe with her. I felt like I trusted her with the way she led, how to use essential oils and then just like she was showing how she was doing it at home, like staying home with her kids and earning an income for her family. And I said I wasn't ready to go back to work. And a backstory, I worked my way up the ladder on my old job. The job I was holding was a higher level position that I went to postgraduate studies for. So it was like a job that it wasn't just like, I'm going to flip flop. I was in it for over 10 years and I absolutely loved it. But your hormones change after your baby. So I decided to say yes to the business and see what it could do for me at that time. I think I did it for like 2 to 3 months until I had to go back to work. And I think at that time I was elite still, probably, right? A less than elite, executive elite. And then I went back to work around August. And then I think I hit Premier in like November, December, like this around this time, because it's an amazing time to uprank. And if you have any goals that you want, as Ashley was saying, it's the best time to kind of push for power of threes, your ranks. And so I wasn't really in the business at that time. I remember her checking in on me. She was like, how are you doing? Do you want to do mentor calls? And I was going crazy in my head because I was trying to balance going back to work and a new mom and this doTERRA business that I was really passionate about, but I just couldn't handle it. My leg hit Premier in November and December, and I wasn't really in the business. And I remember Ashley, and I still remember it. She asked me a question and she goes, you hit Premier. And she goes, how do you feel hitting Premier? When she asked that question, there was a sense of, I don't want to say like, I felt guilty. I hit Premier without doing anything. And I realized that, well, one, I saw the check and I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't do anything. And I know this is a whole team effort. I felt super guilty and I don't like to take credit for anything I didn't do. And so I remember that month, after that month, I told Ashley, I'm ready to go back into the business. If I'm going to hit Premier again, I want to do it because I actually put the work into it. And since then, I've been into my business fully. We hit silver, I think what it was like February. And I was struggling to find childcare. My mom would fly up every week to watch my baby. And hitting silver for me was huge because silver meant I can take my baby to daycare. I can pay for the deposit for her to go to daycare. My mom worked in LA and she would fly up every week to watch my baby because I didn't trust my baby to go to anybody else yet. I haven't found the right person. So when I hit silver, it was huge. It allowed me that whole check. I was so proud to give it to the daycare that I found, that I trusted. And she started going to daycare and it started helping me focus on my job and myself. I had free time to myself, and it's huge. And that was the first time I hit silver. And if you're premier right now, elite or executive, or just starting the business, don't give up, because this opportunity is huge. I hit silver that month with a lot of help of the team, and I wasn't solid silver, as a lot of people probably experience. You once you hit a rank, you know it's you gotta solidify it still, right? So I was still bouncing back from silver to premier, and then that was like February. In May, a few months later, after struggling to figure out daycare, trying to balance work, new mom life, the relationship that kind of is challenging, right? When you're a new parent with your partner, all that was, I was starting to feel good about everything. And then I got fired. I got fired in May because I can't really talk too much about it because it's a legal thing, but I was crushed. I I remember that month I hit from silver, I went down to elite. And if anyone's ever experienced something like that, where you've hit elite and you go back down lower, or even one rank lower, it hurts. I hit silver and I went all the way down to elite. I was lost. I lost my job. I felt so lost. But the only thing that was steady was this community, was Ashley, was my team, who still had goals. So I still showed up for myself and for the team. And as much as hard as you try to peel you off the bed because of all the shit that's happening, excuse my language, I had to, because I felt like this is the only chance I had to earn income, and that they weren't going to take it away from me. So in May, I hit elite, and then I think around summertime, there was like some BOGOs, I think in July, and I started to solidify silver. I started to go back to silver again, but I made a promise to myself that I would hit gold by November. It was like a 6-month mark. I was gonna prove to the people that fired me that I am of value. If anyone lost their job and you don't know why, your value goes down. You're like, why am I not worth the paycheck? Am I not worth my job? Am I not worth what I'm doing? So I questioned myself so much, and I wanted to prove to myself that no one's gonna tell me what to do, how I'm not valued. And with this community, every single one of us has so much value, so much. And I hit gold that time, but I just want to share that story because we will fluctuate month to month, sometimes really low, but don't give up. Fast forward to that was the last time I hit gold. I was at silver for like, I think 2 more years, another year and a half. This is the first year that I started really solidifying silver. I'm sorry, gold. I've been solidifying gold. And with COVID and everything, I don't know where I'm going, but all I'm saying is that residual income is real, regardless of what happens in your life. Regardless if you're feeling like crap, or something significant happened, whether you lost your job, family issues, relationship issues, whatever it is, it's real. I'm going to be transparent. The last 2 months has been super hard. I haven't probably worked in my business as much as I ever have before. This last 2 months, kind of embarrassed to say it, but for me to hit gold, like, it's crazy. It's allowed me to pay for my living expenses while I try to figure my stuff out during this time. And I think what's different about while even though I feel like I'm checked out of my business, I'm not like doing the weekly mentor calls. Ashley hasn't seen my face in months. Is I still believe in the product. I believe in the opportunity, and I never gave that up. That's something that's super strong in me. And although I'm not posting on Instagram, I'm not doing face-to-face calls, I still do a lot behind the scenes. And yesterday I told Ashley, someone enrolled in me. I wasn't even reaching out. She reached out to me because I had posted something about BOGOs. And she reached out. She's like, "What's that, Gizelle? I want it." And I told her about it. It's amazing. And I asked her, like, why did you decide to get it from me? And she said, I know you've been doing oils. You've been using it for years. And I see your posts. And I trusted to get my oils with you, even though I wasn't active in the business. I think the belief is there, and I think people still feel it. People know I always have a doTERRA business, no matter what happens. It's never like, oh, is she not doing it anymore? Like, if you're here in person, you always know I have a doTERRA business, regardless if I'm posting about it or not. And sorry, I don't know where to go, but I'm just saying, like, it's an up and down. And I don't know, maybe I'm more down and up than most people, you know, and it's hard for me to show up when I feel down. But I don't know, maybe it might relate to someone, even just one person who's feeling not great about their business right now, but don't give up. I've had a doTERRA business for almost 3.5 years, 4 years. Residual income is real. And I know you won't feel it yet in the beginning, but don't give up. And even if you have a really bad 1 month, 2 months, just the best thing you can do is think about what doTERRA has done before you fell down, I guess. And connect to, I know Ashley reaches out to me a lot, and sometimes I'm not as connected with her. And even like Aiko and Alexis and Brittany, people reach out to me, and I know it's like I'm not as connected to everyone, but I appreciate everything, and it's always, it's not you guys, it's the person. So I hope no one is offended by that when I don't show my face and all that. But we all have our issues. But one thing is constant, and what we can never be taken away is your doTERRA business, as long as you don't give up on it. So yeah, I don't know. I invited a few people here who helped me get to silver, and who continues to support me. And yeah, I just, there's a few people here who's not really doing the business, but I wanted to say thank you, because it really helps my family and myself a lot. And I have one person here, I think it's Gia. Gia's here. She does amazing at what she does already. She's passionate about something else, but sometimes I feel like for me not to share what has done for my family, I don't like to brag about what doTERRA has done for me. I don't want to say the checks I get for when I'm having a down day. I don't want to say that. That's just not who I am. But if I can only share like really what has done for me, like in terms of financial, for me to live and pay a roof over my head when there's COVID going on. Like, how can I keep that from people? And that's why I show up for my builders, because I don't know what they're going through sometimes, but I want them to get the blessings that I've been getting from doTERRA 4 years in, 3.5 years in. And so I will never give up with anybody who's on my team, I will never, sometimes I put them first because I have a really bad day, and I'll text them, hey, what's your goal? Like, do you want to like do a mentor call? Even though in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, if they say yes on a mentor call, I can't, I'm not okay right now, but I will always show up for people. Sorry, I'm just rambling. And I didn't mean to cry. I'm not in a good place, and I know it's different from where the other qualifiers are probably at, where they're just like, I'm gonna uprank. I'm not trying to uprank this month. I'm trying to support where my builders are at. We are trying to go for 1500 power of three, but I'm not trying to, just because we're closer to that than platinum, to be honest. But like, just isn't that crazy? Like it's just, this opportunity is nuts. You won't see it in the first few ranks, but as Ashley says, and it's like, it's funny because Ashley's so high up there that we're like, she says like it's worth it, and we're like, really? Like, but it is, I promise you. Like, you don't see it right now, but I promise you, don't give up. Like, you will see it, and the only time you won't see it is if you give up. you know um Whether, I mean, diamond would be amazing, platinum would be amazing, but it's interesting. My why has changed so much since the beginning. My why was, I just want to stay home with my baby. I don't want to see people. I don't want to go look for daycare. But like, the opportunity that I have with doTERRA and the blessings is, my why is, I want as many people to have this as like their second income, their uh um what is it, they're like kind of their lifeline, their life's what is it, like when you need to be saved kind of situation. When you lose your job, or you have like a huge expense, like what the hell am I going to do, or COVID hits. Like, I want this opportunity for someone where they can't pay rent or they can't pay certain things, and then they have doTERRA still to fall back on. And just how essential oils, I take essential oils every day. I take the supplements, I take everything every day. I would, even if I didn't do the business, I would still use their products every single day. And I think that's also what's been really successful, because I really believe in the product. I really believe in doTERRA and the company, the opportunity. And I say, like, if it's doTERRA and you're passionate about it, don't give up. If it's, I mean, if it's not, then you're going to struggle, and maybe use more oils, be surrounded by people that really believe in it, so that you believe in the belief. But if you're just doing doTERRA and you really don't believe in it, you're going to struggle. I would say that you're going to give up really fast when you don't earn a check that you're expecting, or whatever it is, because there's a lot of months that I don't end where I want to end, but I still keep going, because it's like, it's part of me. Like, I love the doTERRA lifestyle. I love the community. I love the people who I help. I love the people that get inspired, even if it's only one person, two people that I mean, I know it's a little bit more, because people would tell me that, it's because of me that they started using essential oils, but find something you're passionate of. And if it is doTERRA, don't give up, even if you don't reach the goal that you wanted to that month or the next few months. And lean on people, yeah. Sorry, Ashley, I don't know, I'm just rambling.
That was so good. You covered like all of it. So I'm so proud of you, Gizelle. It's been amazing to see you and build a relationship with you. And like you shared, like it's hard for you, and you still show up. You show up as my business partner, right? We talk, we make sure we close the month. You support each of your builders. You're doing mentor calls with them, even if you can't show up like for yourself, like what you said. And that's important. Of course, I want to see you show up for yourself more, but that can always be something that comes and grows. I am so happy to see Marissa on. Marissa was one of your first builders. As you reach the rank of silver, I see your mom on, so welcome to them. I see one of your new qualifiers, Brittany's on. Gia is one of your newer builders. So it's really nice to see that your team is here from different parts of your business. And what do you feel like, or what advice do you have for the girls who have maybe structural advice, like kind of how you started and your qualifiers and how that's, shifted to now?
Um, so one of my top strengths, actually, it's the number one strength, is what is it, like the problem solver? So for me, I need to know what I'm trying to fix, or else I feel lost. And for me, with doTERRA, it's all about structure, whether it's for rank or for Power of Three. If you are, if you're in my team, or anybody who's curious to ask, I always kind of get a little bit of suggestions and advice always on structure. Um, just because it's, I feel like, especially with Power of Three, I think I was one of the first one. I was like, how come we're not taking Measure Power 3? Because I know in the beginning, the first year or two, it was all about rank. Everyone's just rooting for rank. And I'm like, looking at it, I'm like, how come no one's taking advantage of this Power of 3? So I started structuring for Power of 3. And I just was like, I don't know. I just was like, I like to take advantage of everything. So I was just like, let's just, let's just do it together at the same time. Let's do Power of Three and rank. And so that's how I have my qualifiers structured as well. If I have any new builders, I really try to structure them to hit their Power of Three $50 bonus already, because I'm sure you've heard in previous calls, you don't really earn much from uni levels. And if you're not enrolling a lot, you're not going to really see a check. But the Power of Three, regardless if that's your enrollments, their enrollments, they could still hit Power of Three, $50 bonus. And so for me, that's one of the big things that I'm always looking for, is if they're a new builder, how can I get them a Power of Three $50 bonus right away? And then once they're hitting that, I like to try to structure for 250. I think we have, we're really far. When I don't want to say we're really far. We're not structured yet for platinum. I think we just finalized our third legs for each qualifier yesterday, but I think so. We started doing the 6-month moves right now and all that, and I think if you're not familiar with structure, I would definitely reach out to someone, because if you have volume, and it hurts sometimes, if you have volume of Premiere and you're not hitting Premiere, it's like, and I think if you could structure in the beginning, you're going to feel, I mean, it's still a big accomplishment when you're hitting like a Premiere volume or elite volume or silver volume, even though you're not hitting that rank. But imagine if you are, because you structured early on, it's just more satisfying when you're hitting certain goals, because you structured right. So not to say that my tree is perfect, but I would say the biggest one is just, talk to your mentor and talk about, like, how can I structure already so that I can take advantage of the compensation plan even early on, and not like, because I know there's, we're inspired by silvers, so let's build for silver, but don't forget your Power of Three. We're inspired to hit diamond, but don't forget to solidify your golds or your silvers, and so for me, technically, maybe I can hit for platinum, but I wanted a solid gold. So I didn't want to build a third leg. I mean, not that I didn't want to, but I didn't really push for it. I asked my qualifiers, hey, you want to build your third leg? I'm here to support you. But they weren't pushing for it, so I didn't push for it. Whereas if my goal is just to hit a platinum rank, just to hit it, then I would push for it. I would make their third leg for them and all that. But I think I just feel like solid is easier, because for me it's less up and down. Like, oh, I hit gold and I'm down on the lead. Like I rather be like, oh, I'm gold, 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 gold. And then when I'm ready and so close to platinum, it's not such a far jump to hit platinum. So so I think structure is everything, but it's also meeting where your qualifiers are at. I try not to push them, and if my goal is bigger than theirs, I try my best to see if I can do it, and if I can't, then I'm just real with myself, because I can't take the up and downs. I can't push for something that I just would probably devastate me. And one of the biggest lessons I had is when I did Diamond Club, because I was a solid silver back in February, March. It was with Ashley. I was so close to hit gold the first month I did Diamond Club, and I didn't. I was devastated. I didn't talk to Ashley for like a whole month because I was just like so disappointed in myself. And then after that, I hit gold like 4 times, after that. And so it's just like, I guess, do you what feels right for you. For me, it's hard for me to go doing the up and downs. And so I like the solids. But I guess the number one priority, if like my qualifiers was like, let's do silver, and they're going to meet me halfway to do silver, then I'm all for it. It's always worth it when the whole team is is in it too, but if it's just you, and then I know my skills, like I cannot bring 5,000 volume by myself in 1 month, new volume. I can't enroll 30 people, so it's just being real with myself. Um, and another thing is I don't like to buy in, to be honest. It's just, if I know I can't actually hit it, or just even just like by enrolling, like I don't know. One, I don't have a lot of money, so I can't really buy in a lot. And I don't really want to practice that with qualifiers because I don't know where they're at financially as well. So I'm not gonna be like, hey, you're $500 away from silver. Like, you want to buy in? It's just so uncomfortable for me. And if I can't do it, I wouldn't expect someone else to do it unless they want to do it. So I think for me, I just like to do it more naturally, with a little push, of course, more motivation. But yeah, structure is huge. Yeah, because you can be silver. You could be silver, and like with 20,000, you could have 20,000 volume, and if you're not structured right, you could still be elite, like or premier. So, yeah, I would say Empowered Success, or your mentor call. Just reach out to them, make sure like see the tweaks in like what you could do with your structure. And I am, yeah. So I don't know. Does that answer your question, Ashley? Sorry.
Yeah, that was great. So you just talked about skills. What do you feel like your experience with your past jobs and the type of schooling that you've had? What are the skills that you've developed that brought into this business? And then maybe some of the skills that were developed because of this business.
So the skills that I'm strongest in is I'm super like professional. I'm very like work mode. And so and it also ties into one of my needs for improvement is Ashley's always told me is like relationship building and connection. So in the beginning, I would just be like, hey, there's a team, your mentor calls at 9 a.m. See you there. And I didn't really, it was like, hey, how are you? This and that. It was something I struggled with because at work, we didn't really do the chit chat. It was just like, get to work, And Ashley's like, Gizelle, like Hawaiians are very relationship building. And I was just like, and it wasn't like, and I felt embarrassed because I was like, oh, I hope they don't think I was like, just like super like cold, like, hey, here's your mentor call, like, I'll see you, send me your success check-in. And I didn't say, hey, how are you doing? But I think where I worked, they kind of frowned upon like friendships, I guess. It was very relationship, it was very like just get to work. Nobody really hung out after work. I didn't eat with anybody during lunchtime. It was always just like very focused on what we need to get done. And so that was one thing. So like the structure, like what you need to get done to hit ranks or like tasks and all that was something that I felt like I really brought in. But one of the huge things that I had to bring in was like, hey, like, also say hi, how are you? Like, it doesn't always have to be about business. And that's one of the things I started, I had to really learn. And there's times where Ashley was like, even if you just talk to talk, don't like, maybe even the last 5 minutes of your mentor call is about strategy and structure, but the whole time talk about how what you're doing. Like, do you even know about their family? Do you know this? Do you know that? Like, how are they doing? So that was something I had to really learn, because that was something that I wasn't used to. And I did work here in California, so I don't know if it's, a little bit different here, or it's just the companies I worked at. I don't want to say that's all the jobs in California, but at least my field experience, that was what it was. And they really frowned upon like, just being friendly with people, to that extent of like, hi, how are you? But yeah, so I think the skills is of just, what do I need to get done? What's the problem solving and how do I need to get there? Super maybe act too professional, I guess. It was a skill that I brought in. So I'm just kind of loosening up on that, yeah.
Okay. What was you graduated, you went to school for a while. Like, what was your major?
So my bachelor's was psychology, my master's was counseling, and then my postgrad studies was advanced behavioral analysis. So figure behavior analysis. But yeah, so it's that's why maybe that's what it is because it's all about behavior, right? It's um yeah, so that's what I do. And I think Precious, you were saying it like, I think we kind of were in the similar field. I work with children with special needs and I absolutely loved it. I was passionate about it. I loved helping the families who needed the help. And when and yeah, I never knew about the field until I graduated with my bachelor's, and I was just like, I want to use my bachelor's. And if you're a psychology major, you know you don't have much job options with that. It was just a fun degree that I was like, oh, I like about the human mind and dreams and random stuff like that. And so but I absolutely fell in love with the field. I fell in love with the kids who just who needed extra help. And for to kind of see where when I got fired, it was such a blow to my heart because I like invested over 10 years in this field to help all these families. And um yeah, so yeah um yeah.
Do you think that you can apply that and like your heart there into doTERRA or tie that in with your business one day?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just helping. And I think that's why, like with the builders and sharers who want to take advantage of this, I like to help them. I've definitely been in the helping field a lot. But I think I'm just like, I think I didn't really share too much about like how my why changed. Why my why before was, I just wanted to just stay with my baby. But what my why has done, part of it was also supporting my partner. We struggled a lot with me going to work full time. And so having doTERRA and not earning anything, not contributing to the family financially that's just something that's unfamiliar to me. I've always been very independent financially. And so for me, I was like, well, if I'm going to stay home, I still need to do something. I need to still earn something. And so that's why doTERRA was such a gift. I was able to do that and I don't have to drive anywhere. I didn't have a car. I had to let go of my car. I've had a car since I graduated college, high school, and I had to give it up. I couldn't pay for it, when they fired me. And so um it was just a blessing that I was able to earn this much income from staying home and doing everything from home. Now it's kind of shifted. My why's a little bit shifted, whereas I'm able to support my partner. And his, he has to always be out of the house, training and all that, and Gia knows all about this. They're always training all the time. And it's hard for, we don't have daycare. So it's hard for him to take care of a baby. So I have to always watch Kyra right now. And for me to be able to still earn income, pay for all the living expenses, that is my share. Like, it's such a blessing. And now I'm, another pickup job. So I don't like to share too much. I don't know. I guess I'm just a very private person, but doTERRA is not the only thing I'm doing. I also, my partner, he teaches jiu-jitsu at an academy, and I started working the front desk to earn extra income. So I did a lot of little hustles. When I got fired, I was a front desk girl, entry level, and I was a dog walker to earn income to compensate for what I had lost. And now, because I just really like when I do a job, I try to do a really good job. And from last year, when I was just a front desk person at the academy, now I am the head of like the operations, the day-to-day operations of that academy. And so I'm kind of the right hand of the owner, and I do all business admin. And so, but the why that has changed is like, if you have doTERRA and you don't give up, the flexibility of what you want to do in your life, regardless of what it is there for you. And the fact that I'm able to have this job and support my partner and the family business and still have my own thing is like, you can't take that away from me. Not to say if I mean, we're family, but if I ever like, hey, Giselle, I don't need your services at the academy anymore, I still have doTERRA. No one can take away the value I have in doTERRA. And so yeah, like it's just the finances of like support that you're going to get from doTERRA, the flexibility of what you want to do, what you're passionate about. doTERRA supports, like I can't think of one thing doTERRA cannot support you in your health, in your financial health. I mean, I'm able to pay for certain things for me and my partner to do some fun stuff. I'm able to pay for little things for my baby. Like it's such a well-rounded blessing. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's, don't give up. I promise you, it's such an amazing blessing. And I know a lot of you guys have already felt it. But when you start climbing up the silvers, and even Premier is huge because you get that empowerment bonus. It's huge. Like Premier is even really, really good. I remember Premier like paid for a good chunk of my bills too, so Elite is huge because Elite is all about enrollments, and so like yeah, it's just different. You just get bonuses when you start hitting Premier and Silver. Silver is huge. You get a leadership bonus. And then the cool thing about Silver now, they just changed it since convention. You get 2 empower bonuses now. So I think an empowerment bonus is about like $200 when you reach that. So as a Silver, you can only reach it. What is it? Or maybe it's gold. I don't know, but I know I hit empowerment bonuses, 2 of them, and when I hit gold. Maybe silver is the same, I'm not sure, but that's just like an additional just for hitting a rank. But power of 3, all that, it's like take advantage of what you can with the blessings of the financial blessings you can get from doTERRA, but you have to know the structure though. I would say it's huge.
Okay. Let's go to Kyra real quick. You started this business after you gave birth to her. And, how old is she now? And what has doTERRA given you as far as maybe time and the type of life that you have with her?
So Kyra is now 3, almost 4 next in January. So it's just crazy how I was inspired to use oils because of her, and now she's where she is now. Holland, my partner, his value is he rather us take care of our child than like, I mean, at such a young age. I think that's just what's his value. So he wanted me to just stay home with Kyra, and I said okay, but I'm still gonna do something at home. It's not, I can't just stay home. Like, so for me to be able to like wake up with her, like I know it's something silly, but when I used to have my full-time job, I had to be out the door before she even woke up. When I came home, sometimes she was already asleep. And like for me to like, for her, because she's just an early bird, she wakes me up. I know I should be the mom that wakes up before the kid, but I'm not. She comes to my room. She's like, good morning, mama. It's sunny. And she'll give me a kiss and then we'll cuddle. I couldn't do that before. I'm able to put her to bed every night. We have a routine and it's kind of silly, but it's like we cuddle right before bed. We have like a kiss, Eskimo kiss, butterfly kiss, the whole works. Like, I mean, so many versions of kisses, but I don't think I could have that routine if I had to go to work. It's for her, like for me to be able to focus on certain things, whether it was potty training or just like sharing, I don't know, just that connection, and Holland has mentioned before too. He's like, I don't know if she would be like that, if, we didn't have the path of you staying home as much as you did, not to say daycare. I loved my daycare person, I'm sure if I was working, she'd totally rock it too, but I don't know if she'd wake up next to her. It would be me, or go back to sleep, but she'd still hit all her, skills. She'll still be potty trained by the daycare and all that. But for me to be able to do that, those just like simple things. Sometimes we'll go out away for the weekend. Sometimes we're like, instead of coming home on Sunday, we're like, hey, we don't have to really come back until like Monday when he has to go teach. And for the flexibility to extend like staycations or vacations, like it's crazy. Like I couldn't do that before. I'm like, oh, I gotta go to work on Monday morning. Like, so it's like the time freedom. Like I literally control my schedule. You know, but it's hard, you know, if you have a child or if you have a full-time job, it's hard. It's hard to find the time. Um, but you will find the time if you're passionate about it, you know. But I will say it's so hard to have doTERRA and a full-time job. I remember that I did, you know. So I feel for everybody who has that, or even working from home. If you're working from home and you have doTERRA, like, ooh, that's hard. It's hard to have kids. I only have one. I don't know how Aiko does that. I don't know how Naomi or Ashley does it. I know, hey, like it's hard, but we all have our own struggles, you know. So it's just not giving up and finding your way, you know, to why you started a Terra business. And I know it sounds cliche, but if you want to give up, remember why you started. And, you know, if I wanted to give up at elite, like when I had hit elite, when I already hit silver, I just want to remember like, hey, I was hoping to hit elite one day. I was hoping to hit silver one day. And I did, just, I didn't solidify it, but I've always visioned myself being where I am today, you know, and so I can't give up. I just got to keep going. And yeah, yeah, you won't be able to reach the goal if you stop. So even if it's going to take me, I don't know if I'm going to hit platinum anytime soon. But if it takes me 5 years, at least at least I hit it in 5 years. You know, I don't know. I don't know where life takes me, but I'm always here to support my team and, you know, yeah.
Thanks, Gizelle. Okay, anybody have a question specific? I know those haven't been very popular because you guys do so well at sharing, but I just wanted to offer that. And no,
can I just,
good.
it's not a question, but can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay. I just wanted to thank you, Gizelle. You know, I've seen you, I think, well, you know, you guys started a little before me, but, you know, 3 years strong. And thank you for sharing just your truth, like even how difficult it was, but sharing all the hardships that you had, because yes, this business is hard. You know, it's not all guts and glory, and sometimes you feel a little bit down because you're not in that like, oh, I gotta go get them, you know, but you're consistent. You showed up for others. And again, I know it's not an easy thing to do, but thank you. Just thank you for sharing.
Thanks, Charity. Gizelle, any last words?
Thank you for listening. I know we're all busy, and I just really appreciate you showing up for yourself to listen to a story that might inspire you, may not, you know, but you're giving time to yourself to listen to someone. So I really appreciate that. And don't give up on yourself. You know, you don't know where you're going to be 2 years from now, even a year from now. Regardless of you're hitting your goals and your ranks, keep going. If you're not, I am proof you can go really low and, you know, and struggle and not show face for a long time. But I'm here today. I'm here sharing my face today. You know, I don't know what's going to look like tomorrow, but I know I won't give up on my business, and I won't give up for others. So that's the biggest thing is if you are not doing this for yourself, like sometimes you're not prioritizing yourself, it's okay, but take baby steps. And, you know, it's a hard business, you guys, right? It's like, you know, no one's going to be in a high. You know, I mean, Ashley hits a lot of ranks, but, you know, it's probably what she shared. She doesn't show what you don't know what it looks like when she's not on a team call or in a mentor call or on an Instagram story, all the sacrifices she's done for her business. You know, we all have that. When this Zoom call ends, you know, we don't know what's going on between your hearts and in your mind, you know, and so just keep going. because you're worth it. Your family's worth it. Your goals are worth it. Your future is worth it. So just don't give up, because we're always going to be here for you. I know Ashley, 10 years from now, is still going to hold these calls. And so we'll be here for you.